sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. Pretty empty San Diego Landings because the fish are biting, that's for sure. Good times. And what a great guest we have here from CCA California and also West Coast editor of Saltwater Sportsman. Jim Hendricks is here. Yeah, we have the man here talking about all kinds of great events that CCA is doing and all kinds of great achievements that CCA has been doing and a lot more. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan. Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and the Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way, whether it's taking something down to the launch ramp or going out in the desert. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers to check out the new Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Hey, it's time for the 30-second PowerPro seminar. Here's the hot tip for those of us that like to fish with small reels for big fish. Fill your spools with PowerPro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard PowerPro. That means you're going to get more line on that small reel. Plus, you can fly line your bait more effectively. Here's another tip about PowerPro Max Quattro. Your casting distance will increase in addition to increasing your spool capacity. So downsize your tackle and use PowerPro Max Quattro. Check PowerPro.com for more information.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Well, it feels good to be back in the seat, back in the world headquarters.
Yeah,
Between thanks, man.
How was vacation?
It was awesome, man. It was really, really good. It was I joked we went to Hawaii, big family trip. We go for my mom's birthday and had a great time and had Easter over there. But brought the whole family, both the boys, Wyatt and Waylon, and I joked it was a very fun family trip, but it was far from a vacation. Traveling with a 1 and a 3-year-old, but rad memories and an awesome time. And we had a blast. But
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. The boys did great, and Easter Bunny found us in Hawaii, and so they were really stoked. It was great. It was a really, really fun trip. We had a blast.
How much were eggs in Kauai?
I don't know, but the plastic ones with candy in them were a little. We're very plentiful. So
no shortage of eggs. I'm sure over there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
No bird flu.
Yeah, there's a lot of chickens around. So eggs are no shortage on Kauai, but a blast, and it was so cool that when I left, we were talking about it. Anytime it's going to happen, it's here or there, and then I knew that the fish bit. Because there's a time change different, and on Saturday morning at what my time was 4 a.m., I had full speed, like
missed phone calls, text message. Hey, I need the inside line to Let's Talk Hookup. We're catching fish. I get, text messages from Gavin on the Queen at 4 a.m. my time, and I knew, like, okay, it's on.
It's on. Yeah, it's biting,
happened.
man. What a week of fishing.
That was so exciting.
Yeah.
Pardon me, just to see that happen and follow along. And it's great. I mean, it's been a great week. The weather's been good. The fish are biting. They're cooperative. They're perfect size. It's just been ideal, man.
Yeah,
we love it.
Sure. And good luck to the all the people in the Southwestern Bottom Fish Tournament today. Yeah. 57th annual, I believe it is.
Unreal, man.
Yeah, and then they have the big banquet and barbecue this afternoon, the fish fry, I should say, which everybody is welcome to at Southwestern Yacht Club. I know Mike Lum's coming down for that. Friends of Rollo's a benefactor of that. Thanks to the guys at Southwestern for all that. So if you want to join, they're going to have thousands and thousands of dollars in prizes. So if you want to go join that fun, I believe things start around 3:00. They fillet the fish, people come back, the weigh in and all that. So
it's a great event. Yeah, it's fun. It's family. It's a really good time. It's not it is a hardcore tournament with hardcore fishermen, but it doesn't have that vibe. It's just a really fun thing. Everybody's buddied up and, giving each other a hard time. And like I said, the fish all get cut up and they have a giant fish taco feast for everybody. And there's silent auctions and there's raffle prizes. It's a really, really cool time to hang out with the guys at Southwestern Yacht Club.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, hey, Jim Hendricks is
here. Hey, Jim.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Bro.
Yeah. I'm loving the vibe here. The weather is a little rainy, but it's good to be with you guys.
Yeah, no doubt,
it's great to have you back here. And it's kind of cool. All winter and early spring, we saw a lot of boats tied up. And now there's not as many boats tied up because they're biting.
It's nice.
Yeah, I saw New Luan all loaded up to go yesterday morning. They were doing an early departure on a couple-day trip or something like that. The Queen is out, so maybe we'll hear from some of those guys.
I'm sure
there were some big scores this week.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, it's perfect. It's a perfect grade of fish. It's mostly 40 to 50 pounders. Like the size where when you get one, it's an accomplishment. And it's a big fish and it's a nice one, but it's also catchable. It doesn't kick your butt too bad. There's a few smaller grade fish, 20 to 30 pounders, but most of them are like 40 to 60 pounds. And there's been some big fish too, a little bit farther down and tighter to the beach. There's been some of that 120 to, full cow size fish. And it's been really good. It's almost been, some of the scores have been so good. It's been fun seeing the guys running 3-day trips. I know we saw the Independence and Shogun, getting limits done so fast. They're going down the beach and fishing yellowtail. There's yellowtail to be had. So it just happened. I mean, as it always does, all of a sudden the light switch turned on and it's on.
There it is.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's time. Time is good.
It is time.
It's almost May, right?
Yeah. Well, we're getting spoiled. I mean, we are and we got to pinch ourselves because you're right. The previous few years, we had some pretty good fishing even in March and for sure the beginning of April. And, these last two seasons, it's kind of ticked a little bit farther back and, end of April before we have them and we start wondering, well, where's our fish, man? But, you talk about it all the time. The old Bill Poole days, you didn't even start looking for tuna until 4th of July.
Right.
That was when it started. You didn't even think about it to then.
Yeah.
We're having limits in April.
And Jim, you were talking about all the anchovy around. I mean, it's just tonnage of anchovies.
Yeah, there's a lot of anchovies. I was talking to Rick a little bit earlier about that, and kind of a dearth of sardines. But he pointed out the bait boats haven't really, they've been in for repairs up in Long Beach. The bait barges have been in for repairs. So who knows what they're going to find? But yeah, it's the good news is we're also finding a lot of squid up there.
Hey.
Bringing it back to Long Beach and selling it at the island. So. With the squid around, we're looking for big things to happen.
Things are healthy. It feels really good. Like you said, there's bait of all kinds in all the places. The fish are biting in the places they're supposed to. There's sea bass at the islands and there's sea bass on the beach. And, we had that crazy halibut fishing last year. It kind of seems like it's really healthy again too. It just, it feels like we're in a really good place right now.
Yes, it does.
Jim, you're kind of a halibut specialist on your trailer boat, right?
I don't know if I'm a halibut specialist. We got lucky last year during the Marina Del Rey Anglers Halibut Derby. We ended up catching the biggest one in the 2-day tournament. So we were happy with that. Most of the time I'm out bass fishing or rock fishing or looking for a sea bass. Most of the halibut I catch are kind of on accident. I always say, if you want to catch a big halibut, go bass fishing. That's when you'll catch one.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about, I mean, now on your trailer boat, are you a guy that runs to Catalina? 'Cause you're in the South Bay and go.
Yeah,
catch
I
some
was
big
there.
sea
Actually,
bass?
was there last Sunday. We snuck out for Easter morning.
Nice.
Chris Wheaton and I said, let's go. You know, I don't. We have an afternoon family deal. I said, let's go fishing in the morning. So we ran over there, caught a few rockfish. We were hoping for some sea bass, but that didn't materialize. So, you know, Mark Wish always told me, he says, fish for sea bass. If you don't catch them, go catch some rockfish. You'll be
program.
happy.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful island to go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we stayed on the front side and we were off the island. We pulled off the island around noon, got home, watched the boat, and I was traegering by 2:00 in the afternoon.
I love it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Perfect. So a lot of big events coming up and a lot of big things happening for CCA. And one of the things I really wanted to make a point of about CCA is the accomplishments. All these fundraisers, all the money, all the things that membership drives and stuff that we do, they have a purpose. And the purpose is to allow us to still go fishing.
Absolutely.
And one of the most recent victories, thanks to CCA and the Sport Fishing Association of California, SAC, is the sand bass thing that happened last week.
That's right. It's coalition. It was CCA, Sport Fishing Association of California, and also the American Sport Fishing Association. We all worked hard. Yeah, the one thing that I think, you know, anglers hear about, show up and make public comments, and that's great. We want people to get excited and tell the commissioners how they feel. That it was before the Fish and Game Commission. That's important. But what they don't see and what they may not know is that organizations like CCA California and like SAC are meeting with the commissioners ahead of these meetings. They're talking to them. I was in the meetings with Commissioner Eric Sklar and with Commissioner Jackie Hostler Carmison. SAC met with Samantha Murray and I believe Darius Anderson, and they had day-long meetings with the SAC had day-long meetings with them. So SAC was really, really working hard on this. Thanks to Ken Frankie and all of his volunteer and paid staff. He was really working hard. So was CCA. Thanks to Mark Gorelnik and Chris Arachidera. We had lots of people. Donna Calise was working. She works on
Donna works very hard.
Both sides. Yeah, she works on
Dana Orr Sport.
Yeah. So she works, SAC and CCA California. And I think it ultimately paid off. You know, the final decision when we were there, two of the commissioners were gone. I don't know. It's a 5-person commission, and Jackie Hostler Carmison and Darius Anderson didn't show up. So it was Sklar, Murray, and Erica Zavaleta, the president of the commission. And ultimately, it came down to a very tight 2-1 vote to keep the sand bass season open.
I mean, I think we take it for granted of someone who was not involved. This is going to happen. We were, razor thin close to not being able to fish sand bass or have a very restrictive limit or a very restrictive time. And it was this close.
Yes,
it was all that hard work from all those people you mentioned and everyone else.
Yeah.
And all the, like Pete, you said, all the support to CCA that we kept that fish.
That's why
open
we
for us.
have to support CCA.
Totally, man.
Because without these organizations, can you imagine what would happen?
Just get railroaded.
It would just
That's what it is.
They just there's so many strong environmental groups that all they want to do is just shut everything down.
They do.
Want no access to anything.
They do.
And that's just not right.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a sad truth that in today's day and age, especially in California, we've got to fight for our right to go fishing.
We're fighting for the right thing. That's what's so crazy. The problem is the people that want it done are very well funded and very well organized, and they're good at getting their agenda. That's not the right thing, but they're very good at it, and it's a system, and they know how to work the system.
And they're
thank God for CCA.
They're very well funded. That's a huge part of it. They have a lot of money, and they can come after the politicians and the regulators with a lot in earnest. And I think that takes us kind of full circle to the whole fundraising thing. We have to be well funded in order to do the same thing, in order to compete and balance their voice with our voice. That reasonable, I believe. We believe in we believe that in biodiversity, we believe in strong fisheries, but we believe that is not inconsistent with recreational fishing.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and that's the thing. We will never financially be able to compete with all those groups, but with with the belief and I think the passion that all of us have for our sport, our recreation, our passion to go fishing. That's the driving force.
It is.
That's why we really need everybody to participate.
I know. I know everybody in this room is passionate. The entire board of CCA California is passionate. We want to spread that passion and infuse the entire angling population with that passion to support CCA. Because if we speak with a unified voice, we're unstoppable.
Yeah, for sure. There's one of the ways that CCA raises money is by events such as the Anthony Shea Award Conservation Dinner coming up this Thursday.
That's right.
That both Rick and I'll be at, and of course you'll be there too.
Yeah, it's a big event. It's a great. I've been there for the past couple of years. Last year I served as the master of ceremonies. I'll be doing that again. All right. It's my job is just to introduce people and let them talk. But Anthony Shea is actually going to be there.
That's cool.
At the award, we're honoring our good friend, an icon of the industry, Dave Pfeiffer. We've known him for so long. He's done so much to support the industry. His company has provided financial support. He has that passion. Yeah. He has strong California roots. He believes in this fishery. Nobody is more deserving of the Anthony Shea Conservation Award than Dave Pfeiffer. We want to, but it is also a fundraiser. We want people to be there. We want them to honor him. We want them to participate in the auctions and the raffles that we've got going on. 100% of the money that's raised during the Anthony Shea Conservation Award dinner stays right here in California to support our advocacy work.
That's awesome.
So,
and I'd like to throw out a huge thank you to guys like Dave Pfeiffer that have a big job. Dave is a busy guy.
Yeah, I mean, think about what his job entails.
But yet he still finds time to donate his time, a lot of it, to CCA. And then the other thing too is all the volunteers, whether it be the San Diego chapter, the LA chapter, the Orange County chapter, the Riverside chapter, the Santa Barbara chapter, Ventura chapter, all within our listening audience here. All those people that don't have an agenda as far as financially or anything like that. It's just they have the passion for fishing and they want to see us continue to be able to fish.
Right.
All those hardworking volunteers like yourself, right? But see, the thing is you and I and Ricky, we have an agenda. This is our life. This
job.
is our business.
Yeah.
This is what we do. But all the guys that it's, a fireman or a construction worker or whatever, a restaurant worker, whatever, those guys don't have an agenda, but they have a passion.
Yeah.
And that is
it's our life.
That's what we do.
Well, I encourage all of them to attend the Anthony Shea Conservation Award dinner. You can it's on May 1st in Long Beach at the Grand Long Beach. It'll start at around 6:00. If you want to register for that, you can go to ccacalifornia.org/Anthony Shea, and Shea is an pernicious spelling. It's HSIEH. So, but if you go to the ccacalifornia.org, you'll find it
on the events calendar.
Yeah.
So I heard a rumor that Anthony's going to do a little preview of his world tour movie at the event.
He is.
Oh,
I've
cool.
seen it. I actually have seen it. I got a sneak peek at it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I bet it is, man.
It is awesome. The opening sequence, you will just get your blood pumping.
Wow.
You'll like, I want to go do that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that guy does that isn't awesome.
No.
That is not a big surprise.
Talk about a guy that has passion.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And he's involved in tagging in an ambitious tagging effort for marlin. It's not as he points out, it's not a recognized species in terms of food, like the tunas are.
Yeah.
So, tagging the marlin is something that kind of gets second fiddle a lot of times. So he's committing a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of his time to helping the scientific community find out more about blue and black marlin.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a real job too, and that is the Western editor for Saltwater Sportsman.
That's right. I'm the West Coast editor. I've been there for 15 years. I do all the boating coverage. I organize all the boating coverage. I'm the electronics editor for Saltwater Sportsman, and I write feature stories about fishing and all kinds of different things.
And Saltwater Sportsman's still one of those printed magazines, right?
It is.
Yeah, which is so
You
cool.
can put it in your hands and
Yeah.
see the killer photography, and they're great.
So one day, a while back, somebody asked me, how does it feel to dominate a dying media? I said, I think we're doing all right.
Yeah, no doubt. Buddy.
It's an amazing.
Still my
magazine.
favorite.
Yeah. We also have a lot online channels, Facebook coverage, all the social media channels
Right.
coverage. You can go to saltwatersportsman.com and find out lots of stories about what we do, what I do. I really enjoy it.
What was your most recent article you wrote about?
Oh gosh, let me see. You're asking me a hard question here. You see, I just wrote recently in the electronics column. I wrote about boat security systems, actually, about how to monitor your boat.
Yeah.
Siren Marine. There's one called Skyhawk Oversea. Basically, you could be in Montana, Pete, and monitor your boat from Montana. You could see if anybody's been on it, if from an app on your phone.
Right.
You can monitor the battery, see if there's any high
bilge.
water, high bilge water. Yeah, you can see everything. You see if it's moved or where it's going.
Yeah.
At any time. So I did a story about that.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, we invest so much in our boats.
Oh, absolutely.
We have so much. They're not cheap nowadays.
No.
They're difficult and expensive to maintain. We have lots of equipment on them, and so we want to keep. They're our pride and joys, and we
That
want
must
to keep.
be
We all of us here are boat owners. We know the feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. Jim Hendricks, a wealth of knowledge about all things boating and fishing, as well as CCA.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you talk about an accomplished fisherman, both inshore, offshore, and such a great career. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to talking to you, man. It's been a great morning already, and we're just going to have a fantastic show, and you're going to be the reason for it. And we're looking forward to hearing from you. Give us a call this morning at 833-288-0973. If you have a question for Jim, you'd like to participate on Let's Talk Hookup, that's how you reach us this morning. Nick is standing by at the fan to take your phone calls. Already several phone calls rolling through, but we do have space for you right now at 833-288-0973. In addition to the phones, man, send us a text. Texting the show is so popular now here on Let's Talk Hookup. If you want to text in your question, the only way to do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. If you don't have it already, it's a free download. It's easy to find. Whether you're an Android or an iPhone user, it's all the same. The Let's Talk Hookup app not only gives you access to listen to the show, you can catch all the archive shows, you can call in via the app, and again, it's the only way to text in your questions to the show. If you are going to send it to text, make sure you include your contact information. Just a name and a phone number is all we need in case you're the big winner at the end of the show. And speaking of big winner, we have a great prize for you today. At the end of the show, Jim is going to flip the prize coin. That's going to designate whether the winner is coming from the caller side or the texter side. But one lucky person, caller or texter, is going to win a full-day trip on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. And boy, I don't know if you have seen the full-day fishing that has been going on these last couple of weeks, but that big bonita has been fantastic. And I mean, they are just giant ones. I mean, a high teeners is we're taking the jackpot every day. It's unreal. And, that's a fish too, that is just, the way that we care for fish these days has just changed. That fish early in its life got a bad rap at not being the best eating fish, but now with the level of care that's provided on boats like the Liberty and such, spiking and bleeding, and mainly that RSW, like guys are coming home with unbelievable table fish. I mean, it's killer.
So you're saying high teens in those bonitas?
There was 18 the other day. 18-pound bonita. Are you kidding me? That's going to rip drag off a 50-pound reel.
Are you kidding?
It's really fun.
It pulls a lot harder than any other tune.
That's no question. If those things got to 100 pounds, you never stop one.
No.
Yeah, it's really, really fun watching going on, and there's been great fishing for those guys, and they're biting lures, and they're voracious, and it's just been awesome. So it's somebody's going to get to go participate in on that, or you might save your ticket and go when there's yellowtail or bluefin or more, but somebody's going fishing on board the Liberty on a full-day trip at a Fisherman's Landing. Again, send us a text or give us a call at 833-288-0973. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots more with Jim Hendricks. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
24 years ago, I visited this amazing place called Hawaii Archipelago. I just could not get enough of this amazing islands. Natural beauty, friendly people, and phenomenal fishing. I knew I needed to spend more time there. Moving forward to today, here I am, a fishing lodge owner. Hi, this is Valerie Hopridge from Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful Hawaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. We're a boutique lodge just steps from the Sanskrit Harbor, offering truly a unique fishing adventure. Our fishing is world-class. You will fish for king salmon, halibut, lingcod, crabbing, and much more. Our fishing grounds are unspoiled, untouched, and surrounded by stunning scenery. We're dedicated to making your venture an experience that will bring a lifetime of memories. We will welcome you as friends, and you will leave as part of our Queen Charlotte Safaris family. We are booking now. Please give me a call at 1-877-815-2892 or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or visit our website, qcsafaris.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from our long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
You know, whether you're going fishing, diving, or just having fun on the water, there's nothing more worth doing than messing around in boats. So let me ask you, are you ready to upgrade your ride? Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland is your exclusive Western U.S. dealer for Steiger Craft. Created for inshore and offshore waters and laid out with the serious fisherman in mind, Steiger Craft has built a solid reputation for performance and excellent rough water handling. If adventure on the water is what you live for, now's the time to invest in your passion. Call Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland at 510-437-1444. To look at the whole fleet of Steiger Craft online, go to steigercraft.com. Now's the time for a rugged, reliable, and fast Steiger Craft from Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland.
When you're offshore fishing, the right gear makes all the difference, and that includes Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all brands right at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? The Fujinon Staboscope is the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon TechnoStabi TSX 1440 delivers rock-steady vision even in rough waters. Perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they will be there when your binoculars need service. Plus, they'll give you a great price on all their in-stock Fujinon binoculars. Stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which one is right for you. The fishing season is here, and you know you need a pair of stabilized binoculars. So get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hook. I forgot what seat I was sitting in here. I'm on the Pete side. I'm on the driver's seat today.
Yeah, you're in the driver's seat, running the whole board there. And the reason for that is we're giving them a refresher course.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be traveling for a little bit, starting next weekend. But Ricky's getting a refresher course on all the new gear.
Yeah, but there's a lot, man. I feel like
you're
I'm
watching
in a jet cockpit here.
Yeah. If you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook Live, you can see that.
Yeah.
Friend Jim Hendricks here, CCA California saltwater sportsman here, and Ricky back. Just need a little, but you didn't really need that.
But
I think he could have just totally sat there and done it. But George, our great engineer from Backbone Broadcast, always is kind of tweaking a little thing. So we always got to stay on the top of technology.
Got it, buddy.
And thanks to George, we do that.
Great. Yeah. It's great. It's good to have some guys that have your back, and we sure do.
So one of the things, real quick, I want to adjust before we jump into the phones, which are packing up, and
got some great
and also other events too, is win this boat. You can win a Parker boat from West Coast Marine and Yamaha Outboards.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
We're talking about the Star Tournament, the 2025 Star Tournament, and we have a great slogan, win this boat. It's pretty simple, 3 words. I think everybody can remember it, but that's what it's all about. That's the grand prize. an 18-foot Parker center console with a 150 horsepower Yamaha.
That is so crazy.
And a trailer.
I mean, crazy.
And by the way, and I have to say this because I know Pete kind of, called me aside last year because he said, how come any fish you catch down in Mexico don't count in the Star Tournament?
Yeah.
Well, this year they do.
All right.
They do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That was good.
So we
Good
call
call, Jim.
that the Pete rule.
All right.
So,
Cool. And for you guys that live up in South Bay or LA or Orange County, it's not a big deal. But for us down here, it's kind of, I mean, like last year, I think 80% of my fishing was in Mexican waters.
yeah,
Sure.
it's a huge deal because you got guys going out on boats here. Where I'm
Yeah.
looking at them right now.
Right.
They want to enter the Star Tournament, but why would they enter if they're going to be fishing in Mexican waters and the fish don't count? So,
Right.
And that's such a big thing to mention is you don't have to have your own boat, right? I mean, you can jump on you could win this full day prize on the Liberty today, go on the Liberty, catch that qualifying fish, boom, you're in.
boom, you. And by the way, the guy who won last year, Brian, only had 2 entries in the Star Tournament. He won the boat.
Wow. What was was there anybody who had
Yeah, I think it was
the
like
highest number of entries?
it was in the teens, like high teens. It was mostly sand bass. Last year I thought 18-inch bass. You have to catch qualifying bass to get an entry. Each qualifying bass gets you an entry. But I said 18 inches is a little big bass.
That's
That is a
big
big bass, yeah.
But there were more of those than anything else. Calicos and sand bass, both.
Yeah.
I really
entered.
liked the all the categories you did. Clearly somebody who knows our fishery put a lot of thought into that because I felt every fish was it was a good one. Like you said, it wasn't a no big deal, but it was obtainable. It wasn't the bar wasn't set so high that you're never going to do it, but it was also a big enough deal that you were stoked. I just thought that the whatever qualifiers of all the different fish were just kind of just right.
So now if I can remember all the qualifiers, because we expanded it this year. So there's the bass, all 3 of the bass qualify: yellowtail, white sea bass, halibut, California halibut. We've expanded it this year to include lingcod, striped bass, and thank God we have a salmon season. King salmon.
Really?
So yeah, I think I've got them all there. I think I've got all the species there. So
Bonita don't count.
Bonita don't count because they're
But
listen, the big one, the tunas.
It
course.
is a tuna, right?
No, it is not a tuna.
Okay.
It's the tunas are the bluefins, yellowfin, big eye, albacore, skipjack. Skipjack's a tuna.
Skipjack.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're counting a skipjack, how are we?
Yeah, wait a
how
minute.
are we?
If
if we're counting a skipjack, how are we not counting the bonita? Come on, man. It's a Laguna tuna.
A lot of
Laguna tuna.
It starts Memorial Day weekend, the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. It goes all the way through Labor Day. It's a season-long tournament. You got to download the Fishing Chaos app. Well, first of all, you got to sign up for the tournament,
which is how much?
$40 for CCA members,
That's
and of course, CCA membership.
And that gets you in for the whole
season.
Freaking boat, man! This is crazy.
I spend $40. I spend $40 on coffee every week. So why not? So just to and by the way, it's not just the boat. There's tons of other prizes. There's 14 weekly prizes, and there's 9 other grand prizes.
A lot of great prizes.
Yeah, from people like Promar and Blackstone and Ingle Coolers, Dex,
Turner's Outdoorsman,
Turner's Salty Crew, Stoked
Independent
on Fishing,
Sport Fishing,
Cedros. I can't read the
Cedros,
Adventures.
Brass Monkey. That's
Brass
Ollie's,
Monkey.
Ollie's sport fishing.
Ollie's
boat.
Yeah. And by the way, I got to thank everybody for their contributions of the prizes. It's they've been so generous in trying to promote this tournament and helping us with the prizes. You can once again you can visit ccacalifornia.org/star to sign up. You can, and once you sign up, then you can download the Fishing Chaos app. You take a picture of it you'll get a measuring device on the measuring device, and then you're good to go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's jump into the phones. 833-288-0973. Nick is standing in for Jeff this week, and he'll be taking your phone calls. So let's jump into it.
That sounds good, buddy. Let's start with John. He's calling us from San Diego on line 1 this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. I wanted to ask if CCA is involved with any kind of anti-pollution programs or sponsoring any legislation to help control runoff, anything like that?
You know, it's interesting you should ask that, because the answer right now is no. But we are advocating on multiple levels for better ocean water quality. You know, one of the things that pointed to this, that lent impetus to this, was all the fires up in the Pacific Palisades and all the runoff that's running into Santa Monica Bay. The problem is that water doesn't stay in Santa Monica Bay. There's currents, there's tides carrying it up and down the coast. And really, it points to, I don't want to say the fallacy, but the major weakness of the Marine Life Protection Act and all the MPAs. These waters, these polluted waters, we don't know what's in there. We don't know what kind of chemicals are in there, but they don't stop when at the MPA border. They go right through it. So our MPAs are kind of, you know, we want to say they don't stop any pollution. So we have to stop the pollution at the source. And we've got so much of it. We've got agricultural runoff, urban runoff. We've got sewage runoff down in Imperial Beach. So we are lobbying heavily for water quality. And by the way, that's the kind of issue that everybody, and the environmental groups, can get behind too. Nobody's going to argue that we need strong, good ocean water quality. So yeah, the answer to your question is yes. We are working on that. We're going to try to work with the agencies, the Cal EPA, the water boards, and pressure organizations like the Ocean Protection Council and the Fish and Game Commission to partner with those organizations to try to improve ocean water quality.
Absolutely. Thanks. Like this domoic acid thing that's going on now, they try and blame it on pollution and stuff like that. It may be, but it's probably more of a cycle.
Yeah, we've always had domoic acid poisoning, you know, up and down the coast. The Department of Fish and Wildlife closes the fisheries, the crab fishery, the mussel fishery, the lobster fishery from time to time because of that. Yeah, what causes the red tide? I'm not a scientist. I couldn't tell you. But
not to put a discount on the costs of urban runoff, because there is definitely a cost to the ocean quality of water from urban runoff.
Oh, but yeah, there's no question.
Yeah, I don't know, you know, and that may be a contributing factor. Nobody really knows at this point. But domoic acid's always been there, right?
It's always been there. You know, some people say that it's promoted by the phosphates in from urban runoff. You know, from people, you know, fertilizers and things like that. So that's, but once again, I'm not a scientist. I can't say, but domoic acid is not directly pollution. It's caused by microorganisms that cause the red tide.
Right. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Let's jump back into it, Rick.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you know, earlier we talked a little bit about that Anthony Shea big event coming up, and a guy that knows a little bit about that, and we're excited to talk to is Miles. Miles Blatt's giving us a call this morning. Good morning, Miles, on line 3. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Good. You guys excited for the event? It's going to be the best one we've had yet.
I can't wait. I mean, these are fun times, and they're fun gathering, and you get to see a lot of the people, and it's just like you say, it's a celebration of a great guy that's very deserving of this recognition. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
I have to introduce Miles. He's on the chair. He's on the committee. He's the marketing chair liaison who works with me on the Anthony Shea Award dinner. So Miles has been, I have to thank him. He's been putting an incredible amount of volunteer work to make this event a success. So Miles, tell us a little bit about the live auction and silent auction items that people will be able to see while they're there at the event.
So this year is absolutely jam-packed, guys. We have probably the most exciting live auction, silent auction, raffle packages that we've ever had at any CCA event. We're looking at a retail value of almost $100,000 on raffle, live auction, and silent auction. So some of the big prizes for live auction to get people out there. We have a week-long trip out to Costa Rica that comes with the Shimano rod and reel combo. We have a Tropic Star Lodge package out of Panama. It's for 4 days and 5 nights for 2 guests, already all taken care of. The only thing you need to do is figure out how to get down to Panama City. Something like that, you know, is typically about a $17,000 to $20,000 package, and that's going up for auction at this event. And then we also have the Okuma package, which is going out on the Columbia River with Larry Phillips, either on the river or offshore if you wanted to do that, depending on the day. And something that's really cool that Michael Folks, that we're so generous that he was able to get donated to us from the Tuna Club, is a tour of the Tuna Club of Avalon. It's for 4 people.
Wow.
You get to take the flyer over there or the express, depending where you're located. And it's for 4 people to go into the Tuna Club. But something that's really special about that as well is you actually get to spend the night over there as well in the Tuna Club. Those of you who have been before know how special something like that is. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
That's
Kind of piggybacking, going off the Brass Monkey thing for the Star Tournament, Ali was generous enough to donate another trip out for that day as well. And then we have a special trip with some VIPs of CCA. I won't name the specific individuals, but you'll have to be at the event to see what it is, to go out fishing overnight with some of them. That one's a truly special one. And then also the Hawks Cay package out in Florida. Hawks Cay, it's a beautiful resort. That's going to include 3 nights at the resort, as well as 2 days of fishing with the saltwater experience and into the blue team guys.
So this
silent auction, I mean, you name it.
So
There's
these are
knives,
silent
there's
auction
David,
and live
down in San
auction
Diego.
items, right? All silent and
Sorry?
live auction items.
Yep, silent, live. Those were just some of the live auction items. I haven't even gotten into the silent auction items. One thing that's really cool in the silent auction items.
We got so many we can't
trip
get
that
into
was-
them all.
Yeah, exactly. Well, piggybacking off of Ali again, he donated a trip up in the spotter plane for the FishDope plane.
Nice.
Oh,
That
how
is
fun would
going to
that be?
A truly special piece.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's technically up to 2 people, depending on how big you are, but it's going to be a cool trip.
So the event is 6 to 9 p.m. on this Thursday, right, Miles?
Yep. Thursday, May 1st, down at the Long Beach Grand in Long Beach.
All right. And again, tickets are kind of available. But if you just go to ccacalifornia.org and you look on the events tab, I'm sure we can figure out a way to get you in at this point.
Yep, you can do that. You can also check out our Instagram, our Facebook. There's links that are live on there that will take you directly to the site.
All right.
Awesome.
Great, Miles.
Man, I can't
Thanks.
wait, Miles.
We'll see
Thanks,
you on
Miles.
Thursday. It's going to be a great time.
Awesome. Can't wait to have you all there.
Thanks
for
the call.
See you Thursday. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got more of your phone calls. We got catch reports and more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on Facebook and YouTube Live, 97.3 The Fan, and the Let's Talk Hookup app. This is Rock Cod Rick for Adventure and Camping, where they bring the adventure to you. If you enjoyed camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't own an RV or a trailer, or simply don't want the hassle, let Adventure and Camping park it for you. Check out their website, adventureandcamping.com. Select from over 75 campgrounds they serve. Decide on a trailer floor plan that fits your needs. Request a quote for your desired vacation dates. Then just show up and start your adventure. Adventure and Camping makes it so simple. They deliver the trailer to your spot and you enjoy a clean, spacious trailer. When it comes time to go home, just close the door and drive away. It doesn't get any easier. If you enjoy camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't want the hassle, Adventure and Camping is for you. Check out adventureandcamping.com for details. Make sure you mention that Rock Cod Rick sent you for a special price. adventureandcamping.com.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure.
Hey, fellas, Marcos is on the line, or Marco? Pardon me if I have that name wrong.
03. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Everything about Cat My Lodge is first rate, and it should be on the bucket list of everyone who enjoys fishing. This is Brandon Bono. My visit to Cat My Lodge is an experience I will never forget. Constructed on the banks of the Alagnac River in Katmai National Park, the lodge is a fishing dream come true. The experience is incomparable. Whether bait casting, spin, or fly fishing, you'll find king, sockeye, chum, coho, and pink salmon, plus trout, grayling, char, and dolly varden. Their guides are amazing. Days are exciting and fun with hot lunches and snacks served on the river. The brown bears, bald eagles, beaver, otters, and other wildlife you see is amazing. The lodge staff is great. There's complimentary wine, beer, and appetizers before a fantastic dinner every evening. Take it from me, a trip to Katmai Lodge should be on your list. For information, visit katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. Once again, that's Katmai Lodge, KATMAI.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's going on the water. And today, that Catch Report sponsored by Dana Landing on Mission Bay. It is your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May the 10th for the Dana Landing annual summer kickoff sale. Everything is on sale. Let me read that again. Everything is on sale, up to 50% off. There's going to be manufacturer reps on site showing off product and teaching you the better ways to use them. There's going to be free food, kayak demos, and a big sale at Fast Lane Kayaks, and lots more. It's a summer kickoff sale at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. Again, it's Saturday, May the 10th. Check danalanding.com for more details. And I will just say, Steve and Johnny always pull out all the stops when they do a sale. It is not to be missed.
And then next Saturday with you and Corey, Steve and Johnny will be right here in the world headquarters talking about the sale, talking about Dana Landing, and talking about fishing.
We'll get a lot of the particulars out. And I mean, like I said, this is a big one. And what well-timed fish are biting now. There's bluefin around.
And as you know, John White, who's the manager at Dana Landing, is like silent but deadly when it goes to catching fish. That guy can put you on fish like no other.
It's going to be a really fun show. But again, I just want to stress it. Do not miss that. Those guys pull out all the stops. Saturday, May the 10th. It's the summer kickoff sale at Dana Landing. And hey, with that, we're going to find out what's going on the water. We got Marcos from C4 Sport Fishing on the line. Good morning, Marcos.
Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today?
Doing great, buddy. Good morning.
Well, I finally have a full report to give you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've been talking about boats like starting to get out because of weather and getting out there and, you know, seeing a few fish, but they saw them and they caught them this week. And just today we had the Voyager come back this morning. He had limits of bluefin for his trip there. The the Polaris Supreme called in. They had limits on their 3-day trip. The Tribute checked in this morning, limits of bluefin up to 14 bluefin to start off their day, up to 70 pounds. I'm getting all these counts confused. There's so many of them. Pacific Voyager is out on a 3-day. I know they had limits for their first 2 days. Haven't heard from them today. So we've talked about it. It was coming and it hit all at once. Yeah. So very good bluefin fishing there on all those trips. San Diego back out there this morning. Early in the week there, they had good bonita fishing. Then they went and took a look for some yellowtail. They had about 8 yellowtail on there, 6 to 8 yellowtail. So a little tougher there, but they're back out there looking. Half day, still great bottom fishing. So as we roll into May here, it's about where we expected. Fishing is really taking off. So check the website, seaportlanding.com. Got our full schedule up there for those 1 days, day and a half, full days, half days. Everything's up there. The Tribute's running a lot of day and a halves coming up here through the end of the month and the beginning of next month through May. So check that out. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. If you haven't got your gear set up yet, now's definitely a time to do it. Come down, visit some person, ask some questions. Get your gear tuned up, get your tackle, and get out there fishing because it's taking off right now.
Marcos, how good did that feel? I mean, it's biting.
You know what? I've been waiting so long to say, not they saw fish, but they caught fish.
Yeah, they caught them good.
Some of those fish, there's been some bigger 100+ pound fish in the mix there too. So great fishing all around, and that was finally get to say that the weather cooperated and the fish cooperated.
I wanted to give a shout out to Max from the Pacific Voyager. We're lucky enough to have on the show with Captain Aliar a couple weeks ago, and he's been doing a really good job on his social media too, like taking time to make quick little videos like from the water on the boat. Hey man, we caught him really good. This was the rig that we caught him with, and this is the jig that we caught him with. So it was really cool to see. He's doing a great job with the social media, and brand new operation for him, and clearly kicking some pretty serious butt. So it was really, really fun to watch this week and see all the great scores that came out of Seaforth.
Absolutely, and I mean, I can't imagine it not getting better from here on out. So definitely get your gear ready because it's time to go fishing.
Like the way you think, Marcos. Appreciate the phone call very much, and we'll look forward to another great report next week.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
All right, thanks, Marcos. Appreciate that. That's going to wrap up our Seaforth report again. Don't forget, man, if you're going to power your boat, Norrisk Lithium is the choice. With Norrisk Lithium, you have the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Norrisk delivers unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power. Norrisk batteries are packed with cutting-edge technology. Upgrade your marine power today. Set up your system at norrisklithium.com or go see the trolling motor doctor to get you dialed in.
Speaking of lithium and Norrisk Lithium,
right?
You've done a lot of articles and such about lithium batteries on boats, right?
I have, and I have.
What's your take on it?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear it.
I think they're the greatest. I really do.
Yeah. You have them on your boat?
I refitted my boat with lithium house batteries.
Okay,
nice.
And also, I incorporated a DC to DC charger into that system. So basically, because you can't really, lithiums requires special charging profiles. And so you need a special charger. And the DC to DC charger basically takes your outboard charging capacity, excess charging capacity, redirects it to the lithium battery. But it has to go through a special box.
Right.
Because you just can't just send it directly there like through an automatic charging relay.
Was it difficult to retrofit everything?
No. I mean, everything's difficult on a boat, but
sure, yeah, because of space.
But no, it was not. It was a very simple installation.
And now, do you ever worry about power?
I never worry about house power. I never worry about my starting power either. But I used to constantly worry about, because I'm running all the pumps, all the electronics, all the lights.
Especially a guy likes sea bass fish.
Yeah, you just what's interesting, and I never put that lithium on an actual AC charger at home. I have it hooked up to an AC charger, but I never have to charge it. I come back with more battery than when I leave.
Wow.
Because
so
it's
cool.
redirecting all that charge right to the back. I have not ever worried with that DC to DC charger and the high capacity of the lithium battery bank. It's what's going to happen.
And the weight difference?
Amazing. It's like 25 pounds for a 31 series lithium battery
instead of 60 pounds, right?
Yeah, you try to lift one of those, turn your milk green.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's and is it safe?
Well, I haven't had any issues yet. I mean, here's the thing that you have people, lithium batteries are not safe. No, they're safe. They're as safe.
You have to have the quality ones first of all,
right? Yeah,
and then you have to have them hooked up.
And you have to have them hooked up right. You have to have them charging right. You have this one has a little temperature sensor on it that makes sure that it gets the right kind of.
And
charge.
how did you learn all that?
Through Mastervolt, which is a company that makes the DC to DC charger.
Okay.
So they said, these are the things they told me. You're going to need a 50 amp charge DC to DC charger to really do the job on that. And it's this little small thing,
It's not that big.
That you put next to the battery. It's not that big a deal.
Wow.
And it was very DC systems but you have to say, hey, lead acid batteries are dangerous.
That's
too.
what I was going to say. Take a couple lead acid batteries. Don't strap them down right. Put them in a poor environment. Let them rattle around. That's not safe either.
Yeah, that's not safe. I mean,
do it right. It's fine.
We're running, hundreds of gallons of gasoline in our boats. Come on.
Yeah. It's electrical.
Exactly. Yeah. Do it wrong. It's dangerous. Do it right. Here we go.
Yeah. It's completely safe. I haven't had any issue. I've been running it a long time. I'm happy. I'm content. I have peace of mind constantly. I think
a lot of articles in Saltwater Sportsman on that?
A lot of articles. I've done a lot of articles in Saltwater Sportsman about the virtues.
So did they have an archive where you can look that kind of stuff up?
saltwatersportsman.com. Go right to our website. All those stories are free. You can download them, read them right on your computer, whatever you want.
Wow.
So we don't, there's no charge for any of that content. We want you to subscribe to the magazine, but if you go, if the same month the magazine comes out, all the content goes on our website as well.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
You got it. How about this time we talked to John? John's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, John.
We took John before.
How about we talk to Dave rather from Anza? Good morning, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, Jim, I've got a question for you here. Now, I'm a member of CCA, and I'm also a member of the NRA. Now, whenever we have an election coming up, I get plenty of information from the NRA about who's sympathetic to our cause and who we should be supporting. How come we don't hear from the CCA about who is running for office that's very supportive of what we stand for?
Very good question. You're getting, NRA has a special political action committee that's actually sending you that information. by law, CCA is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are not legally allowed to support particular political candidates. If we had a political action committee, and we've talked about this a few times, forming a political action committee, but we don't have one right now. So we actually are forbidden by law from supporting one candidate or telling you the story about another candidate. That's the reason that we don't do that. I think it's a great idea.
It's different type of organization.
Yeah, we do. I probably shouldn't say this, in a public forum, but we do support certain candidates, that are sympathetic to our cause. We go out and we talk to them, and we don't send out mailers to say, hey, we're supporting this person for governor or this person for senator or that simply because it's against the law. We can't do that. So on the other hand, we do support legislation. We can support certain legislation, or we can fight certain legislation. That's not against the law, and we do that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well said.
Hey, Dave, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to be coming to you on the stream. We're going to say goodbye to the fan, but we got another great hour coming your way. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup on Let's Talk Hookup app and the Facebook and YouTube Live.
$45 years. That's how long we've been right here. Kayaking and everything life on the water has to offer. I'm Logan from Bass Lane Kayaks, and if you ask Ron and Debbie Lane whether 45 years feels like a long time, they'll tell you time flies when you're having fun. You see, the Lanes have followed their passion for a life on the water, and they've made a living inviting others along for the ride. Over the years, the shop has grown and changed, and so have the employees and products inside. From selling catamarans in the 1970s as newlyweds, living in a VW bus in the store parking lot, to being the destination Hobie fishing kayak store they are today, working with their 2 sons and daughter. You might be looking for a new way to enjoy time on the water with your family, or maybe you're looking for a new way to stay active, enjoy nature, explore, and catch a spotted bait bass. Whatever your goals, come visit us in Dana Landing on Mission Bay, and we'll get you geared up and ready to enjoy life on the water.
Do you know why Arena? Because they visited Summit Gasoline last year. Great service and easy access, even for trucks and trailers at their 24 pumps. Summit is known for the best price on ice, too. Almost half the cost of any other vendor. 25 pounds for just $3.99. Martha and her crew love fishermen, and they'll prove it by giving you 100 pounds free with a 35-gallon fill-up. Summit offers over 40 snacks and drinks to choose from for only 89 cents, and even a line of hand creams and lip balms for 89 cents, too. Summit now proudly offers locally made burritos and sandwiches, made fresh daily and ready to go wherever the current takes you. Summit just upgraded their car wash, and for a limited time, get a deluxe car wash for only $6. Grab the wife's car, grab a cheap sandwich, and make up for the day on the water. Summit Gasoline, lowest prices, friendliest staff, easy access, and free ice. What more can you ask for?
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle. So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. All our open party trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to San Diego Landings in Point Loma. Jim Hendricks from CCA California and Saltwater Sportsman's here. We're talking about CCA. We're talking about boating and fishing and all kinds of good stuff. Jim is a great guest and a wealth of knowledge and gives a lot of his time to keep us fishing, and we're very grateful for that. And got a great show going for you today, right?
Boy, you're not kidding, man. It's just been a lot of fun and a lot of really great info going on this morning. And if you want to join us, man, we want to hear from you. Give us a call this morning at 833. I'm so used to saying that. We're on the text side of the show here at the stream. So not give us a call. You can call us tomorrow. But if you want to join us in the second half of the show, send us a text, man. We have so many great texts. Yep, we have so many great texts stacked up. And if you want to participate in the text, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. As we always say, it's a free download. The only way that you can text in your questions. When you do, make sure you include your contact info. Just that name and a phone number is all we need, because you might be winning that killer full-day trip on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. Been a great show with Jim Hendricks, both representing CCA California, and as we talked about the real job, he's our West Coast editor of Saltwater Sportsman Magazine. Just a great show, and we're really looking forward to talking more with you, and we're looking forward to finding out what's going on the water. We're going to continue with our catch report. We got the man, our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge, has our FishDope.com report, again sponsored by Gamakatsu. If you like to fish for tuna and you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you are missing bites. The Nautilus Circle hook comes in sizes as small as a number 4 and all the way up to a 6.0. And for big fish, the Nautilus HD is tough enough, but not oversized. Both come in ringed or non-ringed versions. You can see your local dealer or check Gamakatsu.com for more information. We got the man, Captain Mark Wish, is on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ricky, Pete, Jim. Great show. How are you, buddies?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. So, okay, I love this time of year. We got so much more going on than we've had the past few months. It's just awesome. Okay, so check this out. This is a good story. So a 3 days ago, one of my good friends and customers walks into the tackle store, hands me a beautiful piece of vacuum sealed fish, and I looked at the label on it. I go, oh, this is cool. And he says we were throwing dippers and had them boiling in the corner.
Okay.
I just love that. Now, this was not albies, not yellows, not big-eyed tunas. I'm talking halibut.
Come on.
Halibut.
Boiling in the corner.
Halibut. Boiling in the corner in less than 10 feet of water, in between the kelp stringers. They had a tank of chovies and a little bit of secret dope about something else that they were actually targeting. And it turned out that this little cove was just loaded with halibut. They caught more than a few. I saw the pics. They had fish up to 18 pounds in less than 10 feet of water. Yeah, honest to God. Throwing dippers. Sounds like a story to me, Jim.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah. So anyways, this was not up north at the Channel Islands. It was not Catalina or Santa Barbara Island. This was local, Palos Verdes, right here in our backyard. And kind of interesting because a lot of that Catalina fish has been super shallow like that. And looks like some of this local fish is too. Pretty interesting story. Never heard that one before. But anyway, thanks, Jeff. That fish was delicious. Locally, our water is cleaning up and warming up. and conditions on the beach are improving all along the whole area here. Some of the water in this area is 60, 61 now, which is a big improvement over what it's been. And we'll see that bass fishing and other stuff start picking up here too. So over at Catalina, we had 2 weeks of really good sea bass fishing over there. A bunch of big ones were caught, a whole bunch of fish over 50 pounds. And on almost all the stock spots up and down the back there were biting. And man, it just like flipped the switch there a few days back. It just kind of, I don't know if they swam away or just, quit biting. Either way, it just got super slow. Few yellows though on the bait ground still, 18 fathoms west of Penn Weston. That was kind of interesting. And then over at Clemente, still generally slow fishing, surface fishing. The bass guys are getting them. Tackle bass fishing's been pretty darn good, but in terms of surface stuff, I haven't been seeing it yet. A little behind schedule, but got some good signal yesterday. One of the sport boats over there had 7 yellows, and which is not a whole hell of a lot, but that's a big catch.
Hey, yellow is yellow.
I'll
take it.
Yeah, exactly. So I have no idea as to the size or as to the location. Like I said, it just happened yesterday late, but really a good sign. Really a good sign. And then as those tuna fish, pretty darn good fishing to say the least this week. Mostly nighttime fish, mostly jig fish, catchable size fish, 30 to 60s for the most part. But for the private boat fleet, the stuff is pushed way out to the west. It's out there in the weather, kind of from the 60 up towards the Butterfly. And it's the west end of the Butterfly. The guys are getting stretched way out there. But, man, they clobbered it again last night. But for the private boat guys, man, you're going to have to be hardcore to go chase that stuff. But quite a bit of it around and soon coming. So that's this week's report. And I think it's just going to get better and better as time goes by. There's no telling what we're going to be talking about next week. I don't know. It's hard to top halibut boiling on the corner.
I like that, man. And of course, FishDope.com has all the information for you. $30 off a new membership to FishDope.com using the code Hookup Now, or lowercase, no space, Hookup Now. Your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, P Word in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger. Phone number at the store is 714-840-4262. The website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And, man, it's getting, really good, really interesting. Can't wait for what's going to be coming up here in the near future. We'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, Mark. Thanks a lot for that. Talk to you next week.
Well, speaking of really good and really exciting, let's find out what's going on the Tribute right now. We got our buddy Captain Mike Pritchard is online. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
We're doing great. A little bonus to the Catch Report. Always like hearing from the Tribute and
hearing that sonar clicking in the background.
It's pretty cool, buddy.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to get a recording of this and just play it when I'm calling from home, so we got it in the background. We're out here on a little private charter. Actually, buddy Brady Daniels, we did a surprise 50th birthday charter for him, which it's pretty hard to keep under wraps and have 18 of your buddies come down and hide in the galley and wait for you to walk on the boat. But we managed to pull that one off. We
cool.
got a little bit of a later start last night than we wanted to, but we got to the grounds about 1:30 in the morning, and we ended up with 14 bluefin last night for our 19 guys. They wanted to bite there for a little bit. We just trying to get some of these guys to put the beer down and stop celebrating was a thing, but it all worked out good. But we did end up with 14 bluefin last night, mostly in the 50 to 60 pound range. Right now we're trying to find a kelp patty and see if we can find some yellowtail. And then there was some really good fishing for guys earlier in the night. So we got a few hours tonight. We're going to be doing that as well. But there's definitely some good hits to be had last night. We're going to be in pretty good position for it.
Man, this is just so exciting, Mike, that this is happening the way that it is. Now, we've seen it. Like, it looks like that fish is nice grade too, huh?
Yeah, there's last week I think our big fish was 215, so bigger than it needed to be by a long shot. We don't need them quite that big, but that 50 to 60 pound fish. I mean, they're probably some of my favorites. They pull. There's plenty of yield to take home. They're healthy, fatty fish, and once they start getting over 100 pounds now, they just seem like they're a pain in the butt.
I mean, that's how I feel too. I mean, obviously everybody likes the big trophy. Don't get me wrong, and that's the thing that gets the flash bulbs and the headlines. But a 50 to 60 pound bluefin is manageable. It's catchable. It's a perfect eating size. Like the loins aren't too big to deal with. It's a ton of fish. If you're lucky enough to go on the Tribute and bring home 2 50-pounders. I mean, you are absolutely stoked. It's my favorite. It's my favorite size, and they're catchable. You're in for a battle, but it's not going to kill you.
Yeah, we've talked about it when I was in on the show more than once. Where we get some people now. They're like, "Man, I only caught 2 50-pound bluefin." I'm like, "That's awesome," especially on a 1 day or day and a half trip. Like I'm telling you, we're getting a little spoiled here as we get along. But talking to our group last night as we're getting ready to leave the dock, and I kind of gave them a rundown as there's some 30, 40 pounders, 50, 60. There's 130s, and then there's one of those ones that we caught last week that was over 200. You start bringing up the bigger numbers, and a lot of these seasoned fishermen start shaking their head. And I go, I feel you. I'm right in there. I don't want to catch a fish over 100 pounds. And I'm glad there's people that still do, and it's available. But a 60-pound bluefin it's
love that size. Favorite size.
We'll
That's
take
good size.
that.
Hey, Mike, was that 215 on nighttime fish?
It was on a knife jig. We had a stop. We had a couple of 130 pounder, 140 pounder, and then a 215 pounder that just kind of threw everything off in the mix.
Well, at least hopefully they had at least the right piece of tackle while that was happening, because if a fish like that catches you by surprise, it often doesn't end with a fish on the deck. That's great.
It was a battle on 60-pound, but we got him.
Yeah, well, way to go. And if somebody wants to ride the Tribute, you have some spots coming up?
Yeah, next weekend's already filling up. We do have trips leaving tomorrow night, Tuesday night. There's one of these weekday trips will start filling up here. We just need to get a little more momentum going. But the weekends are definitely a go, and they're probably going to be sold out here shortly. But it's been really consistent. The Supreme's been out. I think they've had limits the last 3 trips. The Pacific Voyager as well. So it's not like it's an up and down thing right now. It's been pretty darn good. And like I said, there's guys last night that had some epic hits earlier on, and we're gonna go tool around and see if we can catch some yellowtail and be back on the grounds here tonight. Like I've talked about on these day and a half trips, we're gonna keep them all at 5 p.m. departures unless we're doing a turnaround. You get basically a night and a half and a full day of fishing. It's we'll be fishing till probably about midnight, which should be plenty of time to get this one done, and hopefully that's the case. But lots and lots of fishing time on these early departure day and a half.
I don't know how you guys keep up with it between the captain and the crew and fishing the amount of hours that you do on the trip. It's quite a value for the angler. Well, Mike, we sure appreciate it. If somebody does want to book one of those trips, either grab one of the last spots for the weekend or grab one of your weekday spots, how do we do it?
Seaforthlanding.com, tributesportfishing.com. You can call Seaforth 619-224-3383. And I've got some pictures up from last night and this morning as well. We had a pretty cool crossing with the Intrepid this morning. I got some oddball rainbow in the background, even though it's not raining. And our breakfasts are Moco Loco. But take a look at all that and our fish that we caught last night. And yeah, book a spot and come out here and fish with us this weekend or this week.
Great job, Mike. Thanks for keeping us up to date. We'll look forward to talking to you real soon. Good luck with the trips.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. How cool is that, man?
That
That's
wraps
my
up
favorite.
our Pet Report.
That's
Yeah.
it, man. Today,
it's so great to keep getting the calls from the boats, and Mike is so good about that too.
And like you say, it's just the feel. You couldn't have said it better. The feel of hearing that sonar clicking on the background, knowing that those fish are biting right now, knowing that they got a bunch of bluefins in the RSW. It's just, man, I love it.
That get your blood boiling there, Jim?
It does.
Yeah.
Just that tapping of the sonar, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
all
go
about
fishing.
that.
No doubt about it. When you do go fishing, you got to deal with that fish, and nobody does it better than the pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the brand new, easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com. And again, be sure to make your reservation today. Now is when it starts to happen. Things get busy, processors start getting full. When you're going, make your reservation, make sure you got it. You're all good.
For sure. Now, this hour, of course, the app is the way to go. Text us on the app, and we'll answer your questions. You have a great text, right?
I thought so. It's referring back to the Star Tournament. It says, good morning, guys. What a great show. Love it when Jim comes on. Jim, can you tell me what is the cutoff date for entering the Star Tournament? And also, can you enter a catch the same day that you enter the tournament? That's from Matt in Apple Valley.
Matt, great question. The cutoff date is, I'll say this, the cutoff date is Labor Day because that's the last day of the tournament. You can enter anytime up until the end of the tournament. So to get the maximum benefit out of it, I think you should enter before Memorial Day weekend, get signed up, ready to go. And yes, as long as you sign up for the app ahead of time, that same day, you can then later in the day go ahead and once you have the Fishing Chaos app and everything, you can enter a fish. Now we'd like to say, hey, enter the tournament before you actually go fishing. And don't wait till you actually catch a fish and then enter, because we do have time codes on the Fishing Chaos app, so it'll indicate whether or not you've actually entered the tournament yet or not.
And you're going to need your fish ruler, right, to do it.
Yeah, you're going to need the fish ruler.
You can't kind of play the system and just wait until you catch your 18-incher and then decide to put your money down. Because
exactly.
like you said, you got to have the app, you got to have your ruler. You don't get that until you're signed up.
Right. And you can't, by the way, you can enter up to 2 fish per day in each of the categories. So you could enter 2 bass on a day or 2 tunas. By the way, I was mistaken. Skipjack's not part of the tuna
Yellowfin and
species.
bluefin.
Yellowfin, bluefin, big eye,
And big eye.
albacore.
And albacore.
And so, it's, my recommendation is sign up early, because the other thing is, we've got all kinds of cool things happening. There's one thing I didn't mention. We've got a kids program where we're going to be giving away 3 $5,000 scholarships.
Wow.
In the youth category.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes,
so you're fishing on a sport boat. You're fishing on the Liberty, and you don't have any internet access. Can you enter your fish when you come back to the dock?
Sure can. Yeah. You just got to take a picture.
Take a picture.
Take a picture, and the picture will be time coded. And then I did that. I was out fishing, and I had a fish, and I didn't have internet. And I took a picture. The picture's all time coded and everything. And then when I got back home and washed the boat and sat down and was drinking a beer, I decided that's when I was.
That's when you're gonna.
I went ahead. I like to do it the same day. You don't want to do it. I don't think you should do it a day later, but you can.
Okay.
As long as you're signed up as part of the tournament. Yeah.
So I just want to go through the process for this. Is the CCA Star Tournament that starts Memorial Day weekend, runs through Labor Day weekend. $40 to enter if you're a CCA member.
Right.
Everybody, and you do it through the Fishing Chaos app.
Actually, you enter through the CCA website.
CCA California.org.
Yeah.
Just do it. But so here's the process. You enter the tournament, pay your money, you get all your ruler, your rules, and everything like that, eligible fish. I catch a sand bass that's 18 inches. Then what do I do?
So you put your measuring device down. I wish I brought one because we got a camera here. I forgot. Put your measuring device down, put the fish's head at the 0 mark and the tail wherever it falls. If it's over that 18-inch limit, go ahead and take a picture. I take a few pictures just to make sure.
Yeah.
Take a picture, and then you can do whatever you want with the bass. You can keep it, of course, or you can release it, whatever you want to do with it, and put it in the gunny sack. Whatever you like.
Yeah.
And then save that picture, and then go to the Fishing Chaos app, which you have to download after you register. And then you enter that in the Fishing Chaos app. It's really simple.
Yeah.
It's
and then you're in.
If I could do it, and I'm kind of a techno dweeb.
Yeah.
And
like you said, the guy that won the boat last year had only entered 2 fish.
2 yellowtail.
That's so cool.
2 yellowtail on a sport boat, by the way.
On a sport boat?
Yeah, you caught them on a sport boat. By the way, you don't even have to have a boat. You could catch them from the surf. You can catch them from the pier. Wherever you catch that qualifying fish, it counts.
Yeah.
Kayak, whatever you can do. That actually, the Fishing Chaos app was born in the kayak market. That's where they really started to develop it. So those guys could lay, put this measuring device down, lay the fish on there, and then release the fish afterwards.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Hey, I found another great text here. Let me bring it up here. Of course, you can only text us via the Let's Talk Hookup app. And good morning, guy. And it's from David from Escondido, And it says, good morning, guys. Great show this morning. I'm one of those passionate fishermen, boat owners who cares about the future of our coastline. Where is the best place to sign up for CCA, and what is the best way to support? Also, is there anything can be done while out on the water to contribute to the cause? It's very good.
Wow. I have to thank you for that question. That is incredible. You could sign up for CCA California at ccacalifornia.org. That should be easy to remember. Or, if we're like it, that's the best way right now. And during the show season, you could drop by our booth, sign up at the booths at the PCS show, or at Day at the Docks, or those kind of places. We're always there too. So, but the best way is just to go online. And by the way, they're more than a $40 annual membership. There's all kinds of memberships you can sign up for. The three of us here are all lifetime members. We all signed up as lifetime members of CCA California. That's $1,000. They can bill you if you want to join that way, and it gets you into most of the CCA events for free. Not the Anthony Shea Awards dinner, by the way, but it will get you into the most. And speaking of CCA California events, I have to bring this up. On May 17th, we are. By the way, you could go to this event and sign up. We're having the Apps and Taps. It's the 4th annual Apps and Taps Festival. But believe it or not, we're honoring our good friend Pete Gray with the Beacon Award. I promised I was going to embarrass him here about this. Now, Pete's been, I'm sorry, Pete, I'm going to turn into the interviewer at this point.
It's all right.
Pete has, I was on his show back in the 1990s. That's how long the show's been around. 34 years. Is that correct?
It'll be 34 years in September.
Yeah. And since 1991, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
whoa.
Unbelievable.
We're getting old, Jim.
We I feel like I'm 24.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to keep rolling. Yeah.
Anyway, Pete, he's going to be honored with the Beacon Awards given annually to an individual who's recognized in the fishing community and demonstrates the vision, the leadership, the commitment to conservation that exemplifies Pete Gray.
I couldn't agree more, Jim.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And I'm really excited to be there. And I couldn't agree with you more. Not a more deserving person. And Pete, I know you're too humble to say it, but you're right. I mean, Jim, how many years have we just been enjoying this? And, Pete, you do a better job than anybody. It helps spreading the word. And you put, we talked about Dave and putting the amount of time and effort into our fishing industry. And you're a perfect example of that.
Well,
I'm really proud to call you a buddy and a partner and everything else, man. It's a very well deserved.
We should be getting a co-award.
No.
Well, actually, I don't know how many of you know it, but Pete is also on the board of directors for CCA California. He serves on the marketing committee with me. He does so much work for us in supporting CCA California. I really, the one question I was thinking about on the drive here, I said, since 1991, what do you think is the biggest change you've seen in the sport fishing community here? What is the thing that's really changed fishing here in Southern California?
Boy, that is a hard question, Jim. That is a very hard question. What has changed the sport fishing community? I think one of the things that's key, and I don't think it's the biggest thing, but I think tackle. I think the improvements in tackle have just changed the way we fish. For example, going rockfish fishing. Back in the old days with the Penn 6.0 and monofilament and the thing on the
rock cod plate.
The rock cod plate. Yeah, thanks, Rock Cod Rick. That. Now you go out with a Trinidad 12 and 65-pound PowerPro, or even 30-pound on one of the new
little OSHA jigger.
OSHA jigger, yeah, and a light rod, and you go catch rock cod at 500 feet. I think, and then go out and catch 200-pound yellowfin on a 20 size or a 16 size reel. I think that, to me, is the advent of the changing in tackle has really been life-changing for fishermen and their experience on the water. And I think that's what it is. It's all about experience on the water. So I have a question.
Okay.
Do I have to give a speech or something at this event?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, now I'm really coming. All right.
Talk about. I don't know, man.
Well, if you want to show up and hear Pete's speech,
yeah.
when we're all, by the way, we're all waiting we really are looking forward to an incredibly motivational speech.
Yeah,
by
polished,
Jim.
very well polished.
The Apps and Taps Festival is going to be on Saturday, May 17th. It's going to be at the Marina Village, right here in San Diego. This is being put on by the San Diego chapter of CCA California.
And I know I was talking to John Ireland from Rancho Leonero the other day. John's coming down, and he says, "Yeah, I guess I'm coming down to do a little roast for you or something like that." It's like, okay, bring it on.
That could be a dangerous one. I know John's got a lot of ammo. I'm sure.
You've enlisted a lot of people to talk about things.
They have.
Kind of
have.
scary.
Yeah.
It's a little scary. But thank you guys, and I'm honored by. Thanks to Dan and for Arnie and all the people from the San Diego chapter for bestowing this honor of the Beacon Award on me, and I'm very grateful and thank you for all their hard work and those guys that do so much hard work. But it's going to be a fun event.
It will.
The thing about Apps and Tap, I was telling a good buddy of mine, Larry Grind, the other day. He goes, "Should I come to this event to honor my buddy?" I was like, absolutely, man, because first of all, Larry loves to eat.
Okay, well, then he should come.
And he loves to drink.
Yeah.
And the food is unbelievable.
It really is.
Jeff from Sushi on a Roll always rolls out some big giant tuna and does unbelievable
It's
food.
so good.
Dan, the pizza man, does his Captain Dan's Pizza Kitchen is going to be there. Dan will be making pizza. Last year they had Mexican food. They have different breweries with different taps offered, and there's wine and sodas and water and everything like that. It's just kind of a fun celebration. It's very casual.
Yep.
But you're going to eat and you're going to drink and you're going to have a real good time.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good time.
What's better than that?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, it's a good time, and it's right next to C4 Sport Fishing there in Mission Bay. Really nice venue, nice indoor venue. That's right on the water, and I believe for CCA members, it's $95, right?
That's correct.
And
yes.
and you can buy tickets at ccacalifornia.org.
Yes. Yeah. Doors open at 4:00.
Yeah. And it goes till
till
you're done with that long speech. I mean, there's no reason to put an end time on it, knowing you're going to go so long.
Everybody's going to be celebrating the award, so we may go late. You never know.
Not likely. I want Steve Bernard to hang out and Ricky too. So yeah, we'll make them quick. Yeah, for sure. But thank you guys, and that's going to be a fun event. It's just a good fun event.
Yeah.
And all of these different events. This is the CCA is a national organization, and actually the CCA California is one of the younger parts of that national organization. And one of the keys when, as you know, because you were there from the onset like I was, that the guys from Texas were talking about is the key is local chapters. And the local chapter events are how they raise money for the cause of battling the sand bass issues, battling bluefin tuna limits, battling whatever issues we have to battle.
There's so many issues that we've won on, and we've had victories, but there's so many more facing us.
And they're just going to keep on coming. And this is the way that they raise money, that we raise money at CCA California to fight these fights, hire the lobbyists, hire the different people to keep Chris and Tony employed. Give a good retirement party to Wayne, whatever. But anyway, it's really a great organization, and this is the way we support it. And all the different chapters have, like Orange County has a golf tournament, that they do. The Apps and Taps is the San Diego chapter.
The Inland Empire has a shooting event.
The shooting event.
Yeah. So we have. It's not just we do all kinds of fun things, but I want to encourage everybody to come out for Apps and Taps. Everybody in San Diego. And if you, by the way, as part of your admission, you become a member of CCA California.
Oh, that's part of the 95.
That's part of the $95.
And what if you're already a member?
You still have to pay.
Yeah, but you get an extra year.
It's tacked. That membership gets tacked on.
You get an extra year on top.
Gets tacked on to your CCA membership, so it doesn't go to waste.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but local chapter events, all of that money stays in California to fight the fight for CCA.
It does. Yep. So everybody needs to show up and honor Pete and have a good time, and I think it's going to be a huge event.
Eat some apps and drink some taps and have a good time, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a blast.
For sure. Now, do you have a great text?
I definitely do. I want to read this one and pull it right back up real quick. It says, hey, Jim, it's Dave from Marina del Rey Anglers. Hey, earlier in the show, you guys mentioned how well-funded the opposition can be. Can you tell us who our opposition is? Who is it that wants us to not be fishing?
Okay, I have to consult counsel on this one, I think. So the main opposition that we battle usually comes in the form of the Natural Resources Defense Fund. That's a huge one. Mm-hmm. There's a global organization that's been battling for protectionism, and that's called Azul. You may not have heard of Azul. Sounds like something out of Ghostbusters, but Azul is a global organization. They're the ones that have been pushing very hard on increasing the MPA network, as well as the 30 by 30 issue, trying to set aside more of the coast. There's the Environmental Defense Fund is another organization. There's one, and here's where I probably need to seek counsel. There is one group that you will hear about that you probably think sounds okay, and it is called Fish On. Now, Fish On, I wrote an editorial about Fish On in the next issue, the June-July issue of Saltwater Sportsman magazine. But Fish On is a bit of a false flag.
Yeah, wow.
On their board of directors for Fish On are organizations like the Environmental Defense Fund, the Natural Resources Defense Fund, and Azul. They come to the meetings. They tell them they represent the angling community, and yet they do not speak. They do not portray our point of view.
Wow.
In other words, in the sand bass meetings, they definitely were lobbying hard for complete closure of the sand bass season this summer and for summers to come. So when you hear it's an effort, it's a smokescreen, and it's an effort to dilute the true voice of the angling community. So when you hear, if you get something from Fish On says join us, we would. A friend of mine, he was a PR guy, national PR guy. They invited him. He joined the board of directors, and I called him. I said, "You know who this group is?" And he says, "Maybe I should have done some more research." So when you get something from Fish On, I think it's fishon.us is their website. They'll go. It'll sound like they're a fishing group, but in reality, they're not. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the other one we have to be careful of is the Surfrider Foundation.
I was going to say the same thing, Pete.
Right?
So,
and I'm a surfer.
I know you are. Yeah.
I remember the same person.
That's the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Same person who started Fish On was the one behind the Surfrider Foundation effort to expand the MPA network and promoted the 30 by 30 process.
Yeah.
She is the same one.
Same person.
So Fish On is a spinoff of the Earth Island Institute based up in Berkeley. And this is what they do. They sponsor environmental activists around California, and they're probably spread across the country. But they go out and say, "Hey, we're fishermen, and we support no fishing." And you're like, when they testified at the commission meeting, I go, "Who is this group?" So I said, "Well, why are they not one fishing group or the regular fishing groups, like CCA or SAC or any group that was represented there?" Came out in favor of a closure for barred sand bass, except Fish On. And so that's what spurred me to start looking into them. So if you get solicited to join Fish On because you think it's a cool organization,
or Surfrider Foundation,
or Surfrider,
that is the lamest thing I've ever. How lame do you have to be to do that? That is just
so. The Surfrider
gets me.
Surfrider thing was the rank and file surfers did not agree with that position, and AFCO actually went out and sent letters to the rank and file members and said, "Do you agree with this?" And they rebelled against the Surfrider Foundation.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow. It's crazy. Read the fine print before you join any organization.
Well
That's
said.
the key.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of those great text messages and a whole lot more with Jim. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on that Let's Talk Hookup app and Facebook and YouTube Live.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers anglers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWarmerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Warmer Resorts, the East Cape's finest. Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over $100 of really cool stuff, like 2 free fishing trips, whale watch trip, as well as a free Dana Wharf Kids Club hat or t-shirt. Log on to the website, danawharf.com, or visit them in Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County.
Time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And boy, oh boy, we talked about it. The annual bottom fishing tournament right now.
Oh, man.
Like that Osea jigger. I am so excited to go out and catch some rockfish with some jigs on the Osea jigger. A little 30-pound test on that Osea 25. It's powerhouse, and then you can catch a 100-pound bluefin on it too.
Powerhouse is the word. That thing is crazy. The amount of, the frame construction is so rigid, long handle, big arm, big gears, big power. It's crazy the amount that thing makes, and it's cool to have a specialized jigging reel. It, like you said though, that's the point I want to make. It's not just for rockfish.
Yeah.
Yellows, school size tuna, whatever. It is a powerhouse of a reel and a very unique platform.
You match that thing with the right rod, and it is going to be one of your favorite weapons in the
I like that new grappler
Check
Type
it out
J.
at
One
Shimano.
rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, Elgato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full-day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup again. Having a great time here this morning with Jim Hendricks in the studio. Having a lot of fun with your text and a great time. If you want to join us here in the second hour, still plenty of time for you. Send those texts right through to the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, for sure. Like Brian from Fountain Valley just did. He says, what is the best and easiest way to support CCA, Jim?
That's a good question.
Yeah, well, it's simple. Just join CCA.
Just join.
I would, you can do more. We welcome volunteers. Join your local chapter. Ask what they need done. They are always looking for volunteers to help with events. But essentially, I would sign up for CCA, an annual membership. But like I said, $40. I spend that much on coffee in a couple of days. And then I would say, fish the Star Tournament. Sign up for the Star Tournament and fish the Star Tournament. It's a great way to support CCA. It's because all the money stays here. It's a great way to brag about your catch. I call it, win swag while you brag.
Yeah, win a boat, 18-foot Parker from West Coast Marine with a Yamaha 150, right?
A 150 with a trailer. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
It's a great rig. I had an 18. That is such that 18-foot Parker is a do-all.
I used to fish Pete's a bunch.
It's a great boat.
That's how much I liked it. Is Neil and I keep our 25 Parker over in Mission Bay. Pete kept his here, and anytime we were fishing the bay or something, we would just I would just borrow Pete's boat because we're used to fishing on a 25. That 18 is huge. All day, people, no problem.
Great.
Big bait tank. It was great. I
Take
love
it to
that
the
boat.
islands, take whatever.
No problem.
It's a beautiful.
It's dry. It's fast. It's excellent riding for an 18. It's really big for an 18. I love it. Somebody's going to win such a cool boat. I hope that somebody's me.
I have to say this too, because last year board of directors could sign up for the tournament. This year we decided no board of directors can sign up for the Star Tournament. No.
Bummer.
Oh man.
So you and me,
So
Pete,
you add
we're
back
out.
in Mexico and then you cut me out.
Cut you out.
I didn't want to end up with a situation where I sign up and I win the boat. That would be bad.
I would have no problem with that.
Yeah, same.
Ricky, would you have a problem with
Not
that?
one bit. Yeah.
hey, but that's a great way. Sign up for the Star Tournament.
Yeah, sign up for the Star Tournament, and then if you want, we're always looking for volunteers, and we're also if you're a company, we're always looking for prizes. If you want to donate a prize to CCA that we can raffle off or auction off, that's a great way too.
Always necessary. And along the same line, Jason in San Diego says, my question is, can you buy or sign up other people like your friends for CCA, or do they have to do it themselves?
You can sign up your friends.
You can gift a membership.
Yeah. What I do at the South LA barbecue, I sponsor a table. So I buy a table for all my friends and say, come on, it's a $700 table. I said, guys don't have to pay for anything. Come sit at the table, enjoy the great Santa Maria barbecue, look at the raffle items, the auction items. It's part of the deal. Just joining me for 4 hours at the barbecue, you will get a CCA membership. So that's what I would do. I'd say find a chapter that you want to support. The San Diego chapter is a great chapter. So is the LA chapter. So Orange County chapter, incredible. So we have
Inland Empire chapter.
Inland Empire. Yeah.
Santa Barbara chapter.
Santa Barbara, Morro
Ventura.
Bay, Kern County chapter. Find a chapter that you want to support, and then invite your friends. Say, hey, let me buy you a seat at the table for one of the events. And you can see what a great organization it is. And at the same time, you're getting an annual membership.
Or sign them up for the Star Tournament.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah.
You could.
Man, I'm still reeling though. I was in last year. I was like, dang.
I think you're ready to resign from the board just to be able to.
Yeah, Pete's gonna take a hiatus somewhere between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Can I temporarily be out? I don't know.
I was signed up for it too last year.
Yeah.
So,
So you have a great
I
text,
did,
right?
yeah. This says, good morning, guys. This is going to the fishing side of Jim and I wanted to read this one because we haven't hardly got to hear any of the expertise of Jim on the fishing side of things. And I thought it was a great text from Rob the Barber in Oceanside. It says, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my text. My question this morning is on the subject of getting your bait to the fish first. Jim, what are the tactics that you use when fishing at the rail of a sport boat to get your bait the furthest out? What is your opinion of the best way to pin on a bait on to get it to swim away? That's all from Rob in Oceanside.
Wow, that's a big question. Well, first of all, I'll tell you, Rob, I don't fish a lot of sport boats. I have my own private boat, but that doesn't mean we don't compete to get the bait out to the fish first. If you want to swim down, it's hook it back by the anal fin. That's and I got a lot of friends who do that. They hook it back by the anal fin. The bait swims down. That's the way to do it. I don't know if it's important to get it out there first or get the best bait out there first, because big part of it is just picking the right bait. That's a huge part of the whole deal. Is get a good bait, good lively bait. In my boat, when we have a tank of sardine, we look for what we call the blondies, which are the kind
and that's exactly what Joey said from Everingham Brothers last week.
Yeah,
the blondies.
He talked about the blondies.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for a blondie. It's a lighter color, the lightest color sardine you'll see in the tank. Doesn't have blue sides. It's greenish, very light color green. Get the blondie out there. I tend to fish with the way I hook it. Primarily, if I'm just going to get it out there quick, is I hook it up through the roof of the mouth and out through the top of the head. That's the preferred method. Whether I'm fishing with a circle hook or with a J hook, that's how I fish. That's how I fish the sardines. But you guys fish sport boats a lot more, so I'm going to defer to you guys. Tell me what to do.
Part of my thought with Rob's question was when he said, how do you get your bait out the farthest? And I used to always think that was the most important part. I like to fish longer rods and get my bait away from the boat the farthest. And that is still a part of it. But I have learned that is not necessarily the best thing. Like if you make some big overhand cast and your bait gets an extra 5 or 6 or 10 feet, but your bait slaps the water real hard from making that cast, it is often not as effective as making a much nicer, lower to the water, easier entry for the bait. So, I've learned in time that sometimes a shorter cast that is a much easier presentation on your bait can be much better. You got to think about just how, especially in the case of a tuna, like how a tuna eats a bait. They are extremely fast. That's why the water boils when they take a bite, because that fish is moving so fast. They can cover the distance of 50 feet in a snap of a second. And that fish knows when your bait has entered the water. So the extra 5 or 10 feet that you're gaining by overhand casting as hard as you can, your bait slapping the water probably doesn't make a lick of difference. If you had a nice killer little underhand pendulum and your bait hit the water and slid into the water and took off, it's probably a lot more likely to get a bite because it hit the water and took off running, rather than your other bait that went to another 10 feet on your cast, but it slapped and stunned and it spun around in a circle a little bit. That bait that hits the water and shoots off is going to get a bite more often than the one that didn't get put into the water quite as nice.
I'll throw in something else. I think you said the most important thing is that mastering your cast, whether it be an overhand cast or an underhand cast. The more time you spend mastering your cast, the better your bait presentation is going to be. And then also the other thing too, especially on a sport boat where you've got a lot of bait, is if you get a sardine that isn't working for you, get rid of it and get another one right away.
1,000%.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, period.
Yeah. If it's not running, if it's just sitting there when it hits the water, it doesn't take off. You'll know by experience when you've got the right sardine. And 9 times out of 10, if that bait hits the water, it takes off. That's the one that's going to get.
How many times have always been at the rail and you send a bait out there and you're cast next to your buddy, you look at him like, I'm going to get bit. Like this bait is going to get a bite.
Yeah.
And just like you said, 9 times it does. Like, I mean, you know, when you had that, when you have one, you can feel him shaking through the line and he's just hauling butt. And you look at your bud like, I'm about to get bit, guaranteed. Watch this. And if you're not fishing that one, then change him out until you get that one. Because that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Joe in La Mesa has a question here. It says, good morning, guys. Great show. Does CCA get involved with our crisis here in San Diego involving the Tijuana pollution and the sewage?
We kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. Yeah, we are definitely have we have programs that we're trying to implement to try to curtail some of that. That's a challenging one because it's a cross-border issue.
Yeah.
And so, when you go to U.S. agencies or state agencies, sometimes they'll say, well, our hands are tied, we can't do anything. That's an international issue. So but we point to it time and time again with the Fish and Game Commission, with the Ocean Protection Council, with the with the Department of Fish and Wildlife, trying to get them to try to step in and forestall that issue.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
You have another good
Yeah,
one?
I thought so too. It says, good morning, guys. This is Texas from Ron. It says, good morning, guys. Does CCA have anything to do with any of our freshwater issues? Are we strictly saltwater issues that they deal with? Love everything you guys do. Thanks for all the hard work.
Yeah, great question. No, we're strictly saltwater. We're ocean anglers at this point. We don't, and that's the way it has always been. Whether it's on a national basis,
there are other organizations like BASS and stuff.
BASS and Trout Unlimited and place organizations like that. But we are dedicated to ocean anglers.
There it is.
All right, very good. And so many great questions here, and so much good stuff. But one thing I want to pick the brain of Jim, like when you're rigging your boat. You have a I believe it's a 22 Cabo, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see? And you can kind of have it all because you write about it. What do you see as when you're rigging a small trailer boat?
Right.
What's the most important thing you do on that boat?
Yeah,
rigging
in the rigging.
Great question.
Well, bait.
Bait.
We just talked about it. My boat came with 2 20-gallon bait tanks in the back, in the stern of the area of the boat. But one of the first things I did is go to Mark Wish and say, I want more.
Yeah.
And he installed a 28-gallon deck tank. So now I have 60, almost 70 gallons of bait capacity.
Bait is key.
Bait is key. So and I told so many of my buddies, during COVID, they would go out and buy boats and they wouldn't have hardly any bait supplies. You got to put a live bait tank on here.
Yeah.
Go down, see Mark, get yourself a good quality live bait.
And they're
tank.
not cheap.
They're not
A
cheap.
good quality tank is not cheap, but
No.
there's a reason for it.
But yeah, but it's worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
I mean, it's you know,
And
I
then
always
install it properly too,
yeah.
I would guess.
Well, I
right?
had Mark. Yeah, I had Mark and his crew install this tank as
Yeah.
well. It was one of the best additions I ever made to the boat.
All right, that's good.
Electronics are important. You know,
Sure.
get a good quality sonar fish finder.
Yeah.
You know, I have a 1,000-watt fish finder on there. I don't have a searchlight sonar. It's too small for that. An Omni or anything like that. But I do have
Which model do you have?
I'm running a Lowrance right now, Lowrance HDS 12 on there, but I have the two
Great.
Airmar transducers, 2,000-watt transducers. One is a
Wow.
one B175 high wide, which I think if you were going to buy one transducer for everything you do on a small boat, it's a through hole transducer.
Yep.
It fits flush to the bottom of the boat. You can trailer with it.
I have the same one on my
It's
Steiger, yeah.
that is an incredible transducer. I mean, you can get more powerful ones, but you're going to pay a lot more money, and you're going to need a bigger boat probably.
But it works.
And then I also just recently put on a Airmar B175 matching, but it's a low frequency.
The low, and I have the same that one too. And the combination of the two covers it all.
Yeah, yeah. So
You can
I
go
use that.
swordfish fishing, deep water cod fishing. The
You're
whole
right.
thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I got it.
So transducer is the transducer more important than the actual electronics that
I
you're
think
putting
so.
on?
I think so. Some guys
certainly every bit is important.
Yes.
You know,
some guys buy the transducer first and say, "This is a transducer I want," and then go get the electronics that fit that transducer.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important. You know, good quality chart plotter. Nowadays, the shaded relief charting.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh,
it's unfair.
Yeah,
it is.
It's unfair, and I like it.
Yeah, it's just it's so unbelievable. There are no secrets anymore. You know, so if you go get a shaded relief chart card that fits your chart plotter and use it. But don't go fishing on my spots.
You have a good text,
I
huh?
definitely do, and I just got told from Dallas that I got to say hi to both Wyatt and Waylon, who are watching us on YouTube Live this morning. So
Very
thanks for the
good.
boys for watching. I thought this was good, and it pertains to the bluefin fishing that we're doing, and it's a question about the landing that I thought I could maybe answer for the guys. Says, hey, I've got a question about the renting gear at the San Diego landings. How does it work with certain size fish being caught at certain points in times? How does the pound test on the reels work? I imagine if guys are using lighter line and we catch bigger fish, does landing ever adjust pound test? How do they adjust tackle? What's the process like? And what's the assignment? I can only speak to Fisherman's Landing, but I want to speak to it because I'm so impressed with what those guys do. It has nothing to do with us in the tackle store, but the landing employs 3 full-time people that only tailor to their rental gear. Wow. They have very high-end gear now because the fish have been so big. It takes quality tackle. It's all CalStar rods. It's Shimano Talicas. It's Penn Fathoms. It's Penn Torques. I mean, it's all really high-end gear. But to answer exactly what his question is, they change it all the time. When a reel comes in from a rental, it gets a new top shot wound on every time. All of the line on like the bigger reels is all the depth changing, PowerPro offshore that changes every 100 feet. And the top shots are adjusted every day based on what the captains are telling them. Gavin from the Pacific Queen will come back out and say, hey man, we saw bigger fish. We want 80 pound on our gear, and everything will get wrapped that way. So to answer your question, Harry, it is all done specifically to what's going on at the time, and because they have full-time guys that do it, it's adjusted by the day. And I think it's really proud of those guys. It is
top of the line Shimano gear,
Tech 25s and CalStar 770 heavies. I mean, it is as good as gear gets.
Good as you get.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharice in Huntington Beach says, good morning, guys. Question is, what has been the biggest challenge that CCA has to deal with here in California, and how can we get involved? Another good question.
Biggest challenge.
That's a good question, because
I think the biggest challenge is getting everybody to join CCA. That's been a huge challenge.
That's been a big challenge.
Listen, I don't like to come on and talk about politics and all the challenges and the difficult things that we're going through in terms of convincing people to not shut down fishing. But if you don't support CCA, then we will be facing that situation.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge I will say this, I say this to the young people that when I take them fishing or I invite them to a chapter event, I said, do me a favor. This one's free. This year's free. You're on me. You're getting your membership. Please do me a favor and renew every year. Make it an auto renewal every year, and tell your
gift
friends.
a membership to your friend and say, but please renew.
Yeah. This, it comes with a string. please, every year. So I think that's it. Because if we could get, every licensed ocean angler in California to join CCA, we would be an unstoppable force for good. So that's the biggest challenge.
I think one of the big challenges too is this 30 by 30 thing.
30 by 30. Yeah. And we're battling that.
Yes.
And I think,
and we're making
I
progress.
know I don't want to get complacent, but I do think that we are going to prevail on that one. I don't think we're going to have any, I'm going to do one of your perennial predictions. I'm going to say we are not going to have any additional closures as a result of the 30 by 30 process.
Okay.
I like
That's what and it's largely.
Is that kind of like albacore?
No, hopefully it's better prediction.
Better,
than that.
yeah, I hope so, because I haven't been very successful at that.
But I think we were very successful with our marketing campaign coming out of the chutes on that one.
Hey, I know we don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to read this one because it was so particular to exactly what you were talking about in raising funds. It says, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Jim. Hey, CCA is doing such a great job for us anglers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been a CCA member since the California chapter started. I'm in the Star Tournament again, and if it hasn't been mentioned, please let people know about the monthly regular contribution option. I've been doing $25 a month for several years, and it's a no-brainer. It comes out automatic, and I feel like it's a great way to help out. I always participate in all the fundraisers, and I really want to thank Jim for all his hard work, and that's from Mike in Oceanside.
No, Mike, thank you so much, and I couldn't say it better. Thank you so much for doing that. It's easy to do the monthly contribution. You can do as little as $5.
Yep. And you can do it right online.
Yeah, you can do
right
it right
at ccacalifornia.org.
Yeah, you can sign up right there.
Yeah,
and
it just comes out of your credit card every month.
Yeah. And once again, it's like
it's a small amount that you just don't notice,
right.
But you're doing a big, that year goes on and it becomes a big deal. And if all of us could do that, we wouldn't be worried about these well-funded organizations like Fish On.
Right. There's so much. I was going to say there's so much. Tends to be a lot of apathy toward political issues, and we need to not be apathetic. We need to join CCA and get passionate like everybody else is in this room.
Well said. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's going fishing on board the Liberty. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and Facebook and YouTube Live.
Enter into spring with powerful deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Ride the Wave sales event. Now through May 21st, 2025. Purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection. Looking for a lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $500 in dealer credit. That's up to 7 years of warranty protection or up to $500 in dealer credit. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends May 21st, 2025. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added to 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty for select motors. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
The CCA California San Diego chapter is hosting their Apps and Tap celebration at Marina Village Saturday, May 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. Join CCA for an evening of great food and drinks, live music, raffle prizes, and a special Beacon Award presentation to honor Let's Talk Hookup host Pete Gray. Tickets can be purchased at www.ccacalifornia.org with a limited number of reserved seating available. We'll see you there.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Pisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
Hey guys, this is Ali Husseini from Local Knowledge and BD Outdoors. I'm a lucky guy in so many ways, and one thing I'm really grateful for is my little brother Yosef. Yosef is not only a fellow angler, but he's also an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find the ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free no-obligation evaluation online now by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. That's SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address and you'll get a home value report immediately sent to your email. No pressure, no obligations, just answers. Joseph is the SoCal real estate go-to guy. He's helped me and so many of my fellow fishing buddies find what they're looking for in a home. He knows anglers and he understands the real estate market. Not only that, but he's also a really nice guy. How many brothers can you say that about? Go to SoCalHomeeval.com and find out where you stand in the real estate market, and then get with Joseph and find your ultimate home. Again, go to SoCalHomeeval.com and we'll see you on the water.
Take a closer look at the Ford F-150. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The 2025 Ford F-150, whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, to meet your needs. From California's best-selling truck brand, it's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer today to see the great selection across the full truck lineup.
All right, here we go. It's time to find out the big winner going fishing on a full day trip on board the Littery. Jim's going to do us the honors, flip the prize coin there. Today, nice flip.
Ooh,
today
good.
we have a texter as our winner. Congratulations, Brian, who texted us from Orange County. You are going fishing on board the Liberty on a full day.
Brian Larson.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
bro.
congratulations. And you're going fishing. And Jim, thank you for all your support, all your hard work for CCA. You should be getting the Beacon Award. I'm telling you what.
No.
Yeah,
I've been doing this for 34 years.
Well,
like
you do a great job. But and then of course we'll follow you, of course, in Saltwater Sportsman. And then how do we join CCA?
Visit ccacalifornia.org. Sign up there.
Yeah, and then of course the Absent Taps, or excuse me, the big Anthony Shea dinner coming up this Thursday is the first event.
Yes,
and then Absent Taps on the 17th.
On the
of May.
17th, and I should mention the Anthony Shea Award dinner is sponsored by Bass Pro Shops and Shimano. Both they're big sponsors.
Big sponsors.
Yeah, big sponsors.
And those corporate sponsorships are really important.
They are. They are
for sure. Well, thank you for joining us, and
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your hard efforts. And again, CCACalifornia.org on the events tab. Buy a ticket. And Rick and I will be there this Thursday. We'll see you there. We'll be there for Absent Taps too. And I guess I have to go to Absent
Yeah, you're
Taps,
definitely
right?
gonna.
Yeah, kind of mandatory.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to that. And boy, what a great show! Great show today. Again, thanks to George, all he does. Thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup app. Tomorrow morning, Valerie Hoprich from Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly known as Queen Charlotte Safaris, will be here, and we'll be back on Facebook, YouTube Live, and of course 97.3 The Fan. We'll see you then.